Thanks, Samuel and Romain. It's really exciting. So this is Datafruits FM, an international community built around internet radio. And just going to talk about kind of the history and how we built our project. So, okay. Okay, my slide loaded. So, yeah, I do web development and DJing and music. My name's Tony. I'm from the United States. I lived in Tokyo, Japan for about 5 years, uh, doing lots of music stuff there. And I moved to South Korea in late 2018. You can find me on most social networks as Free Drool. I actually wrote a short ebook about Liquidsoap around 2014. It's a pretty simple tutorial and it's pretty out of date by now, but yeah, fun fact. Yeah. Looking forward to the official book for 2.0. So, while I wanted to do radio, I was super into kind of the UK based pirate radio style, like the way the MCs talk and stuff like that. I liked Rinse FM, Sub FM, and I was also into really like the Japanese net labels like Mountain, Bukan K, Japanese juke and footwork. So I wanted to kind of show. I wondered why no one was playing that music on these kind of this kind of radio station style DJing. So I kind of tried to combine those two things. So yeah, first version of Datafruits was pretty primitive, just a static site. We only had IceCast, and then you want to have playlists and stuff like that. So I found Liquidsoap and started using that. Yeah, I found this on archive.org. It's from 2013, maybe. And then shortly after I added Liquidsoap, I kind of rebuilt the whole site as a single page app so you can move around without the music stopping. And I made this custom chat room. Kind of this, everyone says it looks like AOL Instant Messenger or something, but that was just kind of because my terrible design skills. Yeah, and it's kind of interactive. And so today it kind of looks like this. You can have a visual in the background. It's a video. It's not going through Liquidsoap at the moment. It's just a separate RTMP server. And you can send GIFs to the chat. We have some different color schemes. They're called themes. And we have a donate button where we set to the current DJ's PayPal or maybe some charity or mutual aid organization, depending on the show. Oh yeah, and yeah, it's all on GitHub/Datafruits. Datafruits. We have different languages, mostly English, Japanese, Korean. Here's what it looks like if the chat is pretty full and this VJ is playing a Gumby movie and doing some glitchy stuff. So our Liquidsoap setup isn't super technically interesting. It's pretty much what Romain was describing. The single, the harbor input falls back to a playlist that falls back to the single. Uh, so we authenticate our harbor input with this API I built, so you know which DJ it is. And we fall back to a default playlist that just plays some archives of the previous shows. And I recently added, well, a couple of years ago, processing with Stereo Tool, so you get kind of that FM, like really compressed type of sound. We save the Harper input with output.file for the archives. Yeah, Stereo Tool's great. I have a simple telnet socket control, skip the current track if needed, or stop the Harper input if the DJ fell asleep or something. And then we just output to Icecast, and I have a simple relay setup. Yeah, so I have the code for all that too on Datafruit/radio, if anyone's interested in that. So how we started recruiting DJs to play, I just asked my friends at first, and they said yes. And then I emailed some DJs that weren't my friends, but I liked them, and most of them didn't answer my email. But eventually, I got some people to do guest misses, and then some of those people went on to become regulars. And now we have this just application form, and the responses get sent to our Discord, and then we can kind of discuss if we want this person to join or not, and just decide as a group. So some of our staple shows, just to give you an idea of what kind of stuff we play. Good Morning Data Fruits with Oven Rake is like a Talo disco. Terrible Tuesday with T-Chan is a weekly, doing like electro and juke. We have Club Trash without track. Sorry, uh, which is like club music. We have Boogie Idol from Tokyo playing world music, jazz, fusion, J-pop, and we have Cine Hunter with our friend Hojo from Taipei playing mostly city pop and jazz. So we're kind of all over the place with the genres. And yeah, I wrote this kind of back end for managing the schedule and shows, the playlists, uh, just in Ruby on Rails. I think a lot of people are interested in this kind of project, and yeah, at the time I didn't know about things like Azuracast or stuff like that. Uh, I think, I mean, Airtime was around, but and I just really wanted to write my own anyway because I'm a developer, so that's how that goes. Yeah, there's a simple calendar, and these can schedule playlists to play at certain times. And you can upload MP3s, and I use like request.dynamic to make a dynamic playlist with these MP3s that I store in like a cloud server. So I built the stream pusher to be like a multi-tenant solution. So my grand plan was to have this be kind of a software business, and then I could make enough money to do the Data Fruits radio on the rest of the time. But it didn't really work out. I got a few people to use it, but it was really difficult to get that working reliably, and I kind of thought maybe this isn't really what I want to do with my time. So there we go. So yeah, a couple of years ago, I kind of gave up on that idea, and yes, stickers. So I just started a Patreon page that was only for data fruits, and that turned out a lot better than I thought. And it's not really enough to cover my, salary, but at least I can pay for any server costs. And I send out stickers every few months, but that's just kind of like a thank you gift. I like most people just want to support the site. They don't really care if they get anything out of it or not. At least I hope. So yeah, when I kind of gave up on selling Screen Pusher, I decided to just open source the thing. So it's up on our GitHub, and yeah, I was kind of hoping people could contribute if they're interested, but yeah, I don't think no one else is using it yet that I know of. So I started focusing more on the community of DJs and kind of building our own little subculture away. We have people from mostly the United States, Australia, Japan. My friend from Taiwan, Hojo. Slides take a while to load sometimes. So since we kind of play so many genres, we kind of made up of meme. Well, my friend Hojo started it really. That was that we play any song spelled as in one word. And earlier last year, when the whole pandemic hit, uh, our response was to throw as long as an online festival as possible because it was really getting popular at that time, and we thought we've been doing this, you know, forever, so we should show people what we can do. So we had pretty much 24/7 shows going on for about 4 or 5 days. Pretty intense. It's a lot of fun. Didn't sleep much. Uh, we had Skylar Spence play. That was probably one of the most popular people that played on our station. Yeah, there was like 100 DJs. This are a couple of the flyers. There's Hojo doing a kind of karaoke core in the living room. This is a set we did in our yard, in my parents' backyard. This was a modular synth set from DXDF. It was a fun one. DXDF 2020, over 100 hours of music and friendship. Yeah, it was pretty cool. We got like one article written about us on a blog. Oh, I was sorry. So I just want to say, like, yeah, that was a pretty good stress test for our system. Definitely found some issues we had, especially with scheduling pre-recorded shows to play. But yeah, I didn't really hit any issues with like overcapacity of listeners or anything. Uh, we had like 200 listeners at one point, and Icecast handled that just fine. So, yeah, at some point during 2020, there were so many people that wanted to do a sort of online festival that I just went up and spun up kind of a second instance of our radio using a domain name I already had, datavegetables.club. So Stream Pusher was already set up to be multi-tenant, so I just created a new account and it was ready to go basically. So we use that sometimes if the main site has a too full of a schedule and someone wants to do something. So some lessons I've learned over the years just from trying to manage all the people community. We only really had one problem with a person that was kind of making people uncomfortable and just I think that's because we really communicate like what's important to us, and I think we just don't really attract anyone who wants to troll us or anything like that, and maybe it's just not that fun to troll us anyway. And in the beginning, I kind of thought that, oh, I just have to get like this really famous DJ to play a set, and then we'll be really popular. But it never really works out that way. Like the people who come to see the famous person, they don't really care enough to stick around to see the other interview regular DJs. So that's just my opinion on that. And what's really built up the community and uh, kind of built our culture is doing the weekly shows consistently and just showing up every week. And that's what really brings people around, I think, and keeps them around. So my goals now are just to keep supporting artists and DJs from kind of underserved, marginalized communities. Their T-Chan's show started getting popular, I kind of realized this was a kind of opportunity to give a site for people who might not be able to find a slot on the kind of bigger underground dance music stations. And really want to run the station kind of together with all the DJs and decide together what new features we want and stuff like that. I'm also planning to move off of Patreon to just build my own subscription based system, and then I can kick some of that revenue to the DJs helping build the site. And I want to add a kind of tipping system for DJs. I have a fun idea for that involving fruits. And yeah, I have plans to use the new video features, FFmpeg. I'd really like it if people could just use OBS and I don't have to set them up with either some pretty old Icecast client for Windows or Mac. Yeah. Yeah, so this is totally unreadable. I couldn't really get it to work, but yeah, I'm gonna use the same kind of fallback thing for the video, I'm thinking. So if no one's playing video, I can just fall back to maybe a static image, and I'll have like an audio only output for uh, radio services like TuneIn, or just if people just listen to the MP3. Some people still do that. And then the website will pretty much be playing the MP4 instead of the audio. And I try to be as open as possible about what I'm working on. So you can go to the GitHub and go to the, I'm trying to use the GitHub projects feature to kind of document all our ideas here and what the progress is. So thanks for listening. It's just a website.
Thank you very much for the talk. So it's too bad we can clap on online because it didn't work
Yeah.
well. But I would clap certainly. So are there questions, or maybe a quick question so that we don't drift too much? But
Any questions?
no. So let's wait for the.
That is probably set to whoever's Bandcamp is playing right now. Yeah, we can update it in real time. So yeah, thanks a lot. Glad you like it.
Okay, great. Thank you very much once again.